What's up everybody, Adrian here, back with another video. This time we're looking at an article with Keanu Reeves. He's making his comeback to science fiction movies. Now you know how they say Zoe Saldana, she's the queen of sci-fi? Well, Keanu Reeves has to be the king of sci-fi, because he's the one. So the article starts out by saying Keanu Reeves is finally making sci-fi movies again, but why did he step away from the genre to begin with? I know the answer, but we'll wait later on into the article to learn that. So in many ways, the actor made his name with sci-fi, beginning with his turn as the time-traveling slacker Theodore Ted Logan in the 1989 comedy Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He continued to work in the genre throughout the 90s, appearing in the now cult film Johnny Maniac, which is set in the no longer distant future of 2021. Now, if you ever saw that movie, that was like The Matrix before The Matrix. That film had a lot of similarities with The Matrix, where you had to be, strapped in with a helmet or plugged in to a server, and then you go to an alternate reality, which you have all these different powers. So it was very similar. You definitely check out that film. In addition to the sequel Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, of course, his biggest sci-fi role came in 1999 when he played Neo in The Matrix. So when he made The Matrix, that's when he blew up. He will always be known for Neo in The Matrix. The article goes on to say he would go on to reprise the role a few years later in the first two Matrix sequels, though not as good as the original, along with the animated short collection The Animatrix. I haven't seen that, but I heard it's very good, so let me know if you saw it and what you think of it. Reeves didn't step away from the sci-fi after that either, teaming up with Richard Linklater a few years later for his Philip K. Dick adaptation of Scanner Darkly, a movie that was shot digitally, then animated using rotoscope. I saw that film, that was awesome. The graphics was really cool, it worked for the film, and Robert Downey Jr. was in there too. He did a great job with Winona Ryder. However, after playing the extraterrestrial Klaatu in the 2008 remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still, Reeves went a full 10 years before working on a sci-fi feature film again. That's what I'm talking about. That film is what killed Keanu Reeves' career. The movie stunk. It was a remake, of course, so it's not going to be as good as the original, even though the original was black and white from the 50s, and it merited to make a remake. Some movies, you don't need a remake or 20 reboots, but the original black and white, The Day the Earth Stood Still, needed a remake. Unfortunately, it was bad. Plus you had Jaden Smith in there, which stunk up the movie, and you had Keanu Reeves that played a very stiff, bland alien. And I know in the interviews the director said yeah, I told him to play it that way. Well, it didn't work, okay, because the original alien, who was in human form, was much better, and he wasn't stiff, but the alien that Keanu played was very one-dimensional, very boring. Some people say that Keanu Reeves is not really a good actor, that he's a one-note guy. He plays stiff in every movie, solemn and boring and monotone, but he's gotten better over the years acting wise, especially in John Wick. There's crying scenes. I'm not saying he's the Oscar worthy actor, but it works. His style works for him. But in this sci-fi movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still, it just didn't work. He overdid it. He got instructions from the director and he overdid it. So after this movie, 10 years of him not doing any sci-fi films, and he just in between started doing low budget, under the radar films. They talk about it in this article, but I think this is what killed his acting career, his big blockbuster movie career, and it took 10 years for him to finally come back with John Wick. The actor is now in the midst of a sci-fi renaissance thanks to his upcoming roles in Bill and Ted Face the Music and Matrix 4. It's partly a matter of timing. The third Bill and Ted movies been in the works since as far back as 2010 and spent years in development limbo before finally securing funding and green light in 2019. By comparison, The Matrix 4 was only announced last summer. Still, Warner Brothers had been working on ways to continue the franchise well before that, and it's no surprise they decided to bring back Reeves back in his iconic role at a time when his action movie career is hot as ever thanks to John Wick series. So Keanu Reeves' departure from the sci-fi genre also coincided with a downturn in his commercial availability as an actor, with the exception of his role in 2013's 47 Ronin, which bombed at the box office. He stepped away from the big budget studio movies to focus on smaller films. Along the way, Reeves made his directing debut on 2013's Man of Tai Chi, that stunk, a martial arts movie that was positively received by critics but failed to take off financially. So the article concludes saying, either way, the unexpected success of John Wick in 2014 has since led to Reeves working on more mainstream films again, including those of the sci-fi variety. The actor made his formal return to the genre in 2019, Replicas, which I think was horrible too, and bombed. A dramatic thriller where he plays a scientist, because that's believable, who uses cutting-edge technology to resurrect his family following their deaths. It was mostly ignored by audiences and dismissed by critics as an unintentional camp fest. So as far as the majority of moviegoers are aware, Reeves is only just getting back to his bread and butter sci-fi movies. He's hoping it's a successful as return as the reveal of his action career. The thing with Keanu Reeves is he has OG status. Like, he's such a nice guy in Hollywood and such a nice guy in like real life that no matter what he does, good or bad, you want to root for him. You like him so much. He's literally like a generous, kind person. So he could literally disappear for 10 years and then come back and people like instantly love him again. I don't want him to just keep doing, 14 more Matrixes or 14 more John Wicks, because if he does anything else, he's not going to be that box office hit success again. So let me know in the comments what you think of this article. Are you excited to have Keanu Reeves come back to sci-fi? Are you excited for him to be in Bill and Ted? Is it going to be good? And what do you think of The Matrix 4? So until next time, catch you later.